In a strategic decision, Castrol India onboarded Shah Rukh Khan as brand ambassador earlier this year, and in collaboration with the superstar, the company relaunched Castrol EDGE. Now, this marks a fairly significant shift in the brand positioning narrative, a transformation from a protection-oriented lubricant brand to a performance-driven brand. These decisions also highlight Castrol India's focus on advertising and marketing initiatives to drive product sales and expand national reach. To give us an inside view of Castrol's brand transformation and the business outcomes it hopes to achieve, we have in the studio with us Sandeep Sangwan, who is the Managing Director of Castrol India, and Rohit Talwar, Vice President and Head of Marketing at the company. So let's dive straight into one of the country's biggest advertisers' plans. Welcome to the studio, Sandeep, Rohit. It's absolutely lovely to have you both in the studio today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, wonderful to have to be in the studio with us, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Sandeep, let me just come to you first. How has the year fared for Castrol? What is your, sort of a report card, so to say, for the past year, especially given all the sort of massive changes that we're seeing in the automotive sector, and of course, consumers changing as well?
Castrol's been in India for more than 100 years, okay?
It's a legacy brand. Yeah.
And consumers and customers have given us all the love and trust that the brand has worked very hard to get from the consumers and customers. So if I look at the last year, I think we delivered top line growth. It's a very stable business, okay, delivering quarter on quarter performance. But I think we've been able to make fundamental shifts in the business, which is something that we are very excited about. And I'll talk about 2 or 3 shifts we've made. So one is Castrol is a premium branded, the largest lubricant player in the Indian automotive market, and we want to stay to be the premium brand in the market. But there was a value for money segment which we were not kind of catering to. And in the last 1 year, last 1.5 years, we've entered into that with our brand called Essential, so Active Essential. We are the largest scale player in the country in terms of distribution. But now we are pushing a lot on rural, because if you look at the two-wheelers, almost 50% of two-wheelers get sold in rural India. And with the country's economy growing at about 7–8%, there's a huge headroom for growth by giving quality products to consumers in rural India. They want good products, it's not that they want cheap products. And I think value, good value for money. And that's where we can play a significant role. The third is looking at the future. We are EV ready, let me put it this way. And we also launched Castrol Auto Care, a range of auto care products for consumers, because that's a segment which is pretty unorganized right now. There are a few branded players, but I think there's headroom for growth.
Yeah.
So many fundamental shifts, while maintaining our investments behind brand, because brand is important to us.
Rohit, I'll come to you. You, of course, you've been in the Castrol system a while. What was on your agenda when you started, especially like Sandeep was mentioning, all the changes that we're seeing, and tell us a little bit about the objective and the insights about the market or the customer that's driving this brand transformation since you've come on board.
If we look at what's happening in India in our category, we see the 2 ends of the market, the premium end as well as what we call the middle kingdom or the mass end, growing very, very fast. And therefore, it's a great opportunity for us to really pivot our strategy and make sure that we have participation and growth coming from these segments that are now growing very fast and driving the overall category growth. So it's almost like a dual strategy to ensure that we're participating across price points and segments, but we're also ensuring that we have the top tier products really available for aspirational India that's now choosing premium and performance products across multiple categories, including lubricants.
Absolutely. But dig a little bit deeper into the brand transformation, especially with bringing Shah Rukh Khan on board. You all brought him on board earlier this year in March. He's a superstar. So what was the thinking? What was the rationale behind that? And how does it tie it into sort of the larger narrative around Castrol EDGE as well? So if you could just sort of dig a little bit deeper into that and tell us what were you thinking?
Sure. So Shah Rukh is the most authentic, trusted superstar and seen to be a trendsetter right? Loved by millions across the world and certainly here in India. I think the opportunity that we saw was to bring performance to life for Indian consumers in a very relatable way. And there's nobody better to do that than Shah Rukh Khan. So I think the role that he will play for our brand is to really bring performance alive in a very, very relatable and engaging way with a very simple and interesting narrative, as you'll see from the new Castrol EDGE campaign. And that's the reason we've brought him on board, to really be the face of the brand as we take these dual steps through to performance at the top tier, as well as expanding participation in the material middle kingdom and mass end of the market.
And like we know, with Shah Rukh Khan, he has universal appeal, right? Across ages, across demographic, absolutely understand that. But Sandeep, I want to sort of get into your mindset a little bit as the managing director. When you see sort of, a superstar of Shah Rukh Khan's caliber coming on board as a brand ambassador, what are some of the business outcomes that you want to see come out of such associations? Give me a little bit of an insight into what you're thinking. Like, what do you hope this will achieve for Castrol, not just for the brand, but for the business?
So I'll speak on two counts, building on what Rohit has said. If I look at consumers and customers, they look for, especially in the automotive aftermarket from a lubricant perspective, they look for protection as one of the key benefit areas. And then you have a segment which looks for performance, okay, the experiences, the top end of the pyramid. We've been very strong on protection. We have Castrol EDGE, which is sold in more than 50 countries across the globe. It's a $1 billion brand, but small in India. Okay, so we wanted to bring that performance angle to our brand. I won't call it a transformation. I think it's a natural progression of the brand as I see it. So that's from the consumer angle.
Okay.
If I look at Shah Rukh Khan, for me and for millions of Indians.
You're a fan too?
Obviously. Yeah. And on a side, I share my birthday with him. But
oh, wow. Fantastic.
So Shah Rukh Khan, for me, epitomizes performance, excellence, pinnacle of his career, his art. And I think that is what EDGE means. And that's what we're trying to bring to consumers in India. So it's very relatable, it's very authentic, as Rohit was saying, in a very engaging manner. So when I was looking at what are the options we have to take brand to a performance territory, I think we couldn't think of anybody but Shah Rukh Khan to be our ambassador.
Absolutely. We were talking earlier, Sandeep, about the timing of the campaign, of course, and with the matches with the T20 World Cup happening. Rohit, let me get you in here on, in terms of your media plan for this campaign. What are you thinking? Where are you seeing the best ROI coming from? Where are you investing?
Okay. So we're leading with TV. So we're going to be, we're an associate sponsor with Disney Star across the T20 World Cup as well as Wimbledon. And these are two marquee high impact sports properties which we believe will give us national reach. We're launching the film on the 9th, so that should give us nationwide reach. We then supplement that with other mediums as well. So we have a component of print, which is a very interesting piece that brings alive the brand proposition using Shah Rukh. And then we also have social, digital coming in. And the split that we have is about 80% on television, both CTV as well as linear TV through SD and HD. And then the rest of it is digital and social.